Imagine this, it's Saturday night, you're getting ready to go to a party, you've got your best outfit on, you're quickly checking yourself in the mirror before leaving your house. And as you're walking there, you are already playing the highlight reel of that night in your mind. You imagine yourself stepping foot into that room and being encountered by very positive emotions. All the people you know welcome you with warmth, with hugs, with handshakes, laughter, just a lot of connection. You're in the center of attention, you're the star of the show. And it's probably gonna be a night that you're never gonna forget. At least that's what your vibe tells you. But as you get there, reality unfortunately hits you. You realize that the vibe of the room is not at all what you expected. People are just doom scrolling on their phones, they're not even present. They're posting Instagram stories with one another, but they're not even that happy as they seem in the story, obviously, because that's just the case. And they're more present in the virtual world than they are in the real world. You're disappointed, but you try to make a bit of a small talk here and there, but people don't really seem that interested because the vibe is just off. Everyone seems like they're not even present, they don't even like being there. Seeing that, you become more and more disappointed. But you're not only disappointed with the vibe of the event, but you're also disappointed in yourself because you expected yourself to just be the star of the show. And now you start blaming yourself. There is that voice inside your mind telling you that it's your fault, that you don't get the reactions you expected, you're not cool enough, you are just a loser. People are probably thinking that you are just weird or you don't smell that good, your hair is not good enough looking, perhaps you behaved quite awkwardly and weirdly. It's your fault at the end of the day because it was your responsibility for the party to go well, right? As this negative script goes on in your mind, you just decide to blend in and pull out your phone, and peer pressure leads you into doom scrolling as well. The party starts getting warmer and warmer as the night goes on, and people start being more and more hyped, but you're already in quite a judgmental and negative energy, so you can't even enjoy yourself anymore. You end up being an NPC just like always, and you decide to leave the party early because it's not even that fun, and you're extremely frustrated and disappointed in everything that went on because it's just another wasted social event, just like so many social events you've went through. If this ever happened to you, I want you to really pay attention to the following quote. The only way to have a good time is to be okay with having a shit time. Never forget that. Because this event, or like similar events with parties, with dinners, social events in general, they occurred to me so much throughout my life. And a big part of the reason I went through similar situations where I was just so disappointed and I had a very shit time socially was because of my expectations. I just expected myself to raise to a certain level that was just unreachable for anyone, not only for me. And I was just like, if I can't reach that point, then it means I'm just not good enough. It's my fault, so I'm gonna start beating myself up. I expected myself to kind of be in the center of attention, but at the same time, I was not ready to be in the center of attention because I couldn't handle so much attention. So if I didn't get the attention, I was anxious because I'm not good enough, and if I got the attention, I was anxious because I don't know how to handle it, because I have too many eyes on me and I'm just gonna start behaving awkwardly, and it's just a lose-lose situation. There was no winning for me. And if you encounter such situations, there is no winning for you either. Now, the thing separating younger me from these people that actually managed to have a good time was basically going with the flow. I couldn't go with the flow whatsoever. I needed control, I needed some predictability of the situation because I was just working, like my mind was kind of working on an algorithm, we could say, and it needed to be able to kind of predict what was about to go on so that I could get ready for that certain thing. There was no way I was just gonna go with the flow because that was too dangerous. And if you find yourself in similar situations, you need to embrace the flow because that is the only way. These people that manage to have fun, that's exactly what separates them from us. They are not so robotical, even we could say. They don't need predictability. They love going with the flow. They love the thrill of the new situation that's occurring that was quite unexpected, we are quite scared by new situations naturally. So then what we need to do is to also get closer to their state, to take some courage to embrace the new situations. Thinking about this, an insight popping up in your mind might be something like, okay, but what if something happens that I'm just not prepared for, and I'm gonna just ruin everything, and my reputation is gonna be ruined, it's gonna be embarrassing and awkward and cringe. What you should do in such a situation is assure yourself that you expect things to go wrong. You expect the possibility of the social interactions being horrible. You expect the possibility of people laughing at you. You expect the possibility of not talking to anyone, of not popping any joke whatsoever. Because, as I said in that quote that I really preached to you, you need to accept the possibility of having a bad night. You need to accept the possibility of having a bad social interaction or a lot of bad social interactions. That's the only way you're gonna be able to reach the point where you actually enjoy them. Because just think about it. Think about how you would engage in these interactions if you are expecting everything to go right. If there is a certain bit of a situation that seems threatening to that expectation that you have, then you lose control, because the only way that things are going to be good enough and that you will feel good enough is if everything goes to plan, is if everything is perfect. So then if there is one certain detail that's not perfect, you feel slightly threatened, you notice that somebody's kind of looking at you weirdly, you start panicking and you start feeling the need to get back to the safety zone, back to the comfort zone. And that safety and comfort zone is more often than not a place where you are still able to satisfy those like sky high expectations. And once you are in this state where you are trying to reach a certain goal, trying to reach a certain like social state or whatever, you become needy. You become needy and you become insecure. And from this point onwards, the possibility that you start acting cringe and awkward is just increased tremendously, because now you are in the needy energy and you act from a place of neediness instead of acting from a place of just being yourself and going with the flow. So you see, there is no winning in trying to control the situations and in hoping that everything will go right, in not being okay with negative outcomes. So the only way is acceptance, accepting the possibility of just never having good interactions whatsoever. And if you would manage to accept everything in all situations, you would just become invincible, because now you fear nothing anymore. Now you are just able to go with the flow, whatever happens. But this is a point that's quite tough to reach, especially if you've always felt the need to control and to have a very tight grasp of the situation. I've been like that, and I'm not at the final point of just being able to go with the flow all the time. I still have situations where I feel the need to control and I struggle with these things a bit, but I'm definitely much better than I was a few years ago. So there is room for a lot of progress on this journey, and the potential results are definitely worth it, because you can genuinely get to a point where you enjoy your social life, where you enjoy interactions, where that voice isn't bullying you and reminding you of all the mistakes you've done in the past years, because now you are able to be more present and you're able to go with the flow. These things kind of go hand in hand as well, going with the flow and being present. So drop your need for control, drop your social expectations whatsoever, and start embracing whatever comes to you. And start accepting any and all potential outcomes as well. And you're gonna see that your social interactions just become a lot better, because you start acting from a place of authenticity rather than a place of neediness.